one question that's been in the back of my mind, because I'm looking at it from a little more dog training point of view. I notice you don't do a lot of petting and praising and stuff with your dogs. Most people, oh, let's get the dog excited. Oh, let's pet the dog and tell him what a great job he's doing. Explain that to us a little bit.
Well, I'm not going to praise the dog a lot at first because he's learning from me. I mean, you know, if you were trying to learn from a teacher who constantly praised you and complimented you and never let you study what you're learning, you would go to becoming self-absorbed in the compliments of that teacher. Or the other way around, they're constantly hammering on you, trying to intimidate you. Well, you're going to not want to learn from them. Well, with the dog, I've got him going good, I'm listening to good, and he understands that means to keep doing what you're doing. I like that. I'm saying it in a pleasant tone. He likes that. He you know, the example I give when people question it is 2 ways for them to sit in that chair in front of me. Sit there and don't you move. Don't move. Stay. Or sit there, and you know what? That's the best sit I've ever seen. I've never seen anybody sit that good before. That's a good sit. You keep sitting like that, you'll go somewhere. That's a good sit. Which one would you rather sit to? Okay, which one would motivate you to not sit the longest, but want to sit the longest because you want to, not because you have to?
And I guess that's probably the key to this, isn't it?
Exactly. The dog begins to learn, and then he becomes freer with his behaviors because he feels that he's doing what you want him to because he made that decision, and he likes that too. And then it's up to you to gain experience.
So the dog really wants to please you, and so therefore you have communication going, and what happens then?
Well, he wants to please you as long as you have a good relationship with him, and the relationship is built that him seeing pleasing you is to his advantage. That's another thing. A dog doesn't have a natural willingness to please in a way. Because if he realizes that what he does gets what he wants and it doesn't please
Now,
you...
wait a minute here.
Hold it, let me finish. The dog gets what he wants, but it doesn't please you, he will do what gets what he wants. He don't care if you're pleased out of the deal or not. He didn't ask you a question.
My dog, let me tell you about my dog a minute.
Okay.
My dog loves me so much that I give him half of my hamburger. And when I give him half of my hamburger, he knows that I give him supper.
No.
You don't believe that?
No.
Well, my dog wants to please me and help me out. What do you mean he doesn't understand that?
Because he does not love you. And I get this, you know, I have people get on to me about that a lot when I try to describe that to them and explain it. But here's the bottom line. Love, as we use the word, takes the intellectual decision-making process. And he does not do that. He can't. He's simply an intelligent animal. He's got a long-term memory and is highly intelligent, but he is not intellectual. He does not make those decisions based off of future sacrifice for you or anybody else, himself included. He does what's in the now, and that's it. And I tell people this all the time. Let your dog go 24 hours without food. Tear the hamburger in half. Get a good one. Explain to him that you're going to die if you don't get your half of the hamburger, and put both halves down in front of him and see if he offers you half that hamburger. And you'll find that he's going to lick the floor after he's ate them both. That's just what's going to happen.
No, this sounds almost too complicated.
It does sound complicated until you actually begin to do it. Then when you begin to do it, it's actually, you know, the way I explain the complication of this to people is the whole design of the ACT method is to give you the ability to take it to your home and do it. Everybody's going to do it in a way, the same way. So I use religion to help discuss this. And so, you know, everybody's going to teach religion their own way to their kids, the way they were taught. And it may be the same. They may be in the same denomination. They may be in the same church. They may, but they're still going to teach certain things a different way in how they were taught it. That's how this is. Everybody's going to do things a little bit different just because of your animation. Everybody's timing, everybody's houses is different, but the fundamental is the same.
So this is so simple and easy that the basics are the same to
Yeah,
everybody?
the basics is the same. The dog goes in the direction of the force that relieves the pressure. I want slack in the leash. I want the 3 correction rule. And do not get emotional. Do not get emotional.
And
Do
you
not
will
get
see
emotional.
a behavioral change in that animal within the hour.
Yeah, oh
Actually-
yeah. Normally the behavior change happens within easily, because I say 35 minutes, but I mean it happens normally faster than that. So.
Well, it's almost time to get a dog then, isn't it?
Yeah, that sounds good. We can get dogs. That's not a problem.
Well, that concludes our interviews with the two brothers, Larry and Frank Allison. What a unique opportunity to have 2 lifetime dog trainers who happen to just be brothers and have them in the studio at the same time. So we're very fortunate to have them share their insights and their thoughts and their methodologies with us. So let's hope you've learned a lot from this interview. And if you haven't, please go back and watch all of them again. We did have to break them up into short segments due to the file size that YouTube would let us upload. So we apologize for that, but we hope that you can watch them all in succession now that they're completed. So again, let's look at some of the things we've learned and kind of do a summary here. We talked about the changing environment of the dog in the home today and how it's changed over the last 30 years, and because of that, it takes a little bit of different communication with the dog than what it used to. We talked about the behavior presentation. We talked about the communication process between the handler and the dog and back and forth until we changed that behavior presentation. We talked about the leash and the collar and how physical communication is the only communication method that transcends species or gender. So we hope you learned there. We answered the question, does your dog love you? And if you missed that part, be sure to go back to the previous episode and check that out again. So again, please go back and watch these until you get it. Now, we know that a lot of folks are not local to the Big Bend, Wisconsin area where Frank Allison has his business, Rock's Positive Canine Training. And so if you're remote from there and you still need help, perhaps you might want to call Rock's Positive Canine Training in Big Bend, Wisconsin, and try to set up some type of remote training methodology with them. And let's see if we can't help you improve your communication with your dog. So again, I hope you've enjoyed the series. We'll try to do some more of these kinds of things where we can share the expertise of people that handle dogs for a living to help you become a better owner. Because remember, our goal here at Dog Talk TV is to keep dogs in your heart and out of the pound or shelter. And we do that by focusing on you, the human side of the human-dog relationship. So again, thank you for watching our mini-series of this interview, and stay tuned for more stuff to come, and we'll see you next time. Have a doggone good day. We'll see you now.